instead of doing another if statement, I would say row dot name. So I'm getting the name now. I want to check also not just if it's null, I want to check if it's empty. For example, the user didn't enter or enter the space or enter double space. It would look like they enter something, but in fact it's not. So I will use a function called the trim. You might have seen it before. This will trim all the white spaces. So in case you just enter spaces, it will trick the program. So to get rid of that, we will actually put the trim function and it will get rid of it. So if you trim all the white spaces and you get nothing, means empty double quotes, then what? Then you have a problem. Well, at this point, you can do a message box, okay? But it might not be practical. If you remember, a better way of dealing with errors and providing messages to the user was using the error provider. Well, here we have something similar. We can say that row, I want you to set the column error, okay? But which column? It's something similar to the error provider. In the error provider, I have to say which control, which text box I want to associate it to. So here I want to say the name column, okay? And I need, if I put here a comma, it's asking now for the error itself that you want to show. So I will say name field is required. Okay. Else, well, if that happened, remember, one issue that we had when we learned the error provider is that you set it and sometimes you forget to clear it. If you don't clear it, even if you go back and enter the correct data, the error provider will still be there. So what do I have to do? In the else, I would simply clear it. And the way I would clear it is simply to say the same thing, set column error for name, but simply make it empty. This would clear it. So let us take a look at our program. Okay. Again, if I go here, then I go here, nothing, right? You might ask, why isn't it working? In fact, that piece of my program, the few lines that I've written, will not be triggered unless what? Unless you actually make a change. So I will come in here. So far I didn't make a change. I will hit the space. So now it's empty. Of course, you know, it's white space. So if you didn't do the trim, this would have actually been okay. Of course, in terms of business logic, this is not okay. So now if I go, I move away, the event was triggered because I did make a change. And if I put the mouse over this, it will tell me the error message, name field is required. So if I go back here and I get rid of all the space and I just put an actual value, and I say, now the error is gone. And of course I can do this for other fields. Of course I can check for other validation criteria. For example, it doesn't have to be just null or empty. Look at the phone number, maybe I can check it in a way, the address, and so on. So I will save my data and I will close this. Another thing I want to show you in this lesson is how to do it in in a different view. Remember that when we bring the data here, we can actually look at it in either the grid view, the one that we're looking at right now, or the details view. The details view, like you've seen before, it actually shows you the details of one record at a time. So one customer, one student, and so on. So I'll go ahead and add a new Windows form. And I will change the view to details, and then I will drag it. Okay, again, we will do something similar to the city ID. Remember that this is a text box and it's not really what I want, so I'm not ready to do that yet. So very quickly, change this to city. Come here, delete it. Give me a what? A combo box. And go back to my data source and drag the cities into my combo box like that. When I click here, it actually has filled the right data. The display is city, the value is city ID. The selected value, however, is from the customers, and it's the actual city of the customer, otherwise you will see wrong data. So I will go ahead and change the project properties to start form 2. Okay, make sure we're on the right track. Alright, so this is the application that we've seen before. Now at this point I want to associate that error. Like I said, I can take it across forms. So this is a different form and it's even a different view. So the question is, can I do the same thing? The answer is yes, but I would need here to have an error provider. So this is the extra step that I would have in the details view. If we take a look at the properties of the error provider right here, make sure it's selected. This is my error provider, and I change the data source. Now in here I need to associate it so that when the error happens, it's actually giving me the same message. So what do? I say customer binding source. Okay, and at this point I'm ready. So let us go ahead and try. If I go, for example, here, I changed it so the event got triggered. I just move away since it's associated to the customer's binding source, and that is the database validation that I did, where it's checking when the column is changing, and it's actually giving me the same error. Okay, so I will go ahead and fix this. And again, the error is gone. I will save my data and close. Alright, this is it for this lesson. You learn how to do validation, but the validation you did is through the database part of it, not just the form and the text fields. Alright, thank you.